Hello. It is Cub113, and I'm back here with Bloomfield. And this is going to be episode 4 of the series. I'm going to go over recruits I've scouted and kind of how I've prioritized them. The first cycle is right now. It's 2:14 p.m. On April 26th. So the first cycle runs in 3 hours, East Coast time zone. So. I wanted to go over my primary targets in this video, and I'm going to go over my secondary targets in the next one. First up, I got this guy, Garrett Hayden. He's pretty straightforward. He's just a great big rebounder. I'll play him at the 5 with that. Actually, he might be a 4, depending on who else I get if they've low speed, but this guy's pretty straightforward, right? He's a total stud. And he'll come in and be a backup big from day one. Hopefully that low post would get up to 100, but the chance I get him is pretty low. I mean, I'll put it at 25%. Then next up is Floyd Slosky, who I put 20 attention points on because he's D2. He's a top target for me for sure. I mean, look at this, right? Elite at the decent speed, so he'll be a 1, hopefully, if the passing gets up. I mean, the goal on this guy, right, is either the passing or the perimeter goes up like 50 to 60 points, and the ball handling goes up 35 points. And you've either got 2 with okay passing, awesome defense, shoot a little, good enough ball handler to not turn it over, decent stamina, or you've got a 1 if the passing goes up. A chance you get both is pretty low. If you get neither, then I guess you've got a backup 2 who can play some defense. But yeah, he's a projected D2 recruit, so there's a pretty high chance I land this guy, maybe 50-60%, hopefully. So then next up is Wesley Roberts. He's only 3 miles away from me, but he's absolutely elite, right? I mean, this guy's incredible. The real icing on the top with this guy's a 46 low post and the 36 rebounding. Like, I mean, you put this guy at the 1, and I think he can average maybe 15 and 5 for me. Low turnovers. Playing elite defense, right? It's not too hard to see why I love this guy. And then next up is Thomas Roby, who's pretty interesting because Roby comes in. He knows my offense and not my defense, but he is low passing, so he can't really come in and bump my incumbent point guard. So this is a guy, if I grabbed him, I'd probably want to redshirt, even with that 65 work ethic, because if you redshirt him and get him up near his full growth, I mean, this guy's a monster, right? 60 low post at the 2, I'd probably play him at the 2 with low passing, 90 stamina, I mean, he'll blow up D2. So I kind of want to take this guy and redshirt him, but then the other choice I have is Roby, or I can also take this Raymond Housey guy, who has slightly lower work ethic by 6 points, worse stamina, but then he can come in and be my starting point guard. Maybe he doesn't know my offense or my defense, but he's by far going to have the best ball handling pass come on the team. But I mean, look at these 5 greens. If I redshirt him, I have a stud here too. So yeah, I have a lot to decide. I have a lot to decide. About these 2 JUCO guards. If I take them, if I'm gonna redshirt them, I'm pretty convinced I'm gonna have to offer Roby a redshirt if I want to take him, and I guess I prefer him above this guy a little. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes down. If I would have to fight for one of them, I'll just take the other. All right. Anyways, then there's this guy Charles Clark. I haven't scouted yet, but I'm gonna put an AP on him because of that A work ethic. I mean, if he has some greens, he's a stud JUCO. So yeah, I'll scout him if I could get him. Another guy I'm not that interested in. Who I'm putting an AP on. I mean, look at this, 228th overall. I'd probably recruit him on my Illinois team, even with the low rebounding. Yeah, he's elite, an elite 3. Although, actually, low passing. Maybe he's a 4 with low rebounding. Who knows? Maybe he'll fall to me. Doubtful. But yeah, that's pretty straightforward. And then another stud guy I'm probably not going to land is John Williford. I mean, look at this. Decent low post, elite speed defense, ball handling, elite stamina, decent passer. He's probably a 1. And again, he's probably not going to fall to me. I'd probably take him at low D1. But yeah, he's pretty cool. So then, two guys, I'm not sure why one of them blue, one of them green, because they're really similar, are Greg Bullington and Stephen Woodby. Uh, Bullington is cool because he's 100 stamina, and he is an elite ball handler and hopefully should be a decent passer. And he has decent defense. He's not really a scorer. I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do with one low post and 70 per. And what I'm probably going to do is put him on +2 and give him not very much distro. Because I don't have confidence in 6 low post to score down low almost at all. But that 70 per isn't really good enough for too much shooting either. It depends how much else shooting I have on my team. But yeah, Bullington is a stud ball handling point guard for sure. And then Woodby is pretty similar, except he has even less offense. But he's elite speed, lower defense, and this passing is a little bit more of a sure bet. It's 5 points bigger than Bullington's coming in. But yeah, I mean, he's also great stamina. These are two guys. I mean, I really want to sign one of these guys, Woodby and Bullington, and I think I can, to be my point guard of the future. Because when you get down to it, Slaughter, Baumgarten, and Weatherington are not going to be great distribution point guards. All right. I think that's all my blues and greens. Those are kind of my top picks. I guess my last guy I'm actually pretty damn interested in is this Donald Bell guy who. Yeah, it's kind of awkward, but with the 88, with the low ath, low D, but with the 88 work ethic, I mean, the hope is if the defense gets up there, which it very well could, this guy will be totally dominant at the 5 with obviously elite rebounding, shot blocking, decent score, and then silver lining is decent speed, ball handling, athleticism. That's kind of the redeeming factor for the low athleticism is not just the rebound and shot blocking, but also kind of those guard skills that make him pretty potent at the 5. Uh, yeah, so those are my top targets. For the end of this video, I just wanted to do a quick uh, development update. I've got this guy, Tom Stevens. He's a defender, big, and he still is green D. So he's probably staying. So that means I have 4 open spots. Because the other development update that's important regarding how big this recruiting class is going to be is Scott Jason, and this guy's a total disaster. Yeah, his athleticism came in green and is already black 7 points later. His defense turned at like 66, so I got near minimum defense growth, 25th percentile defense growth, and then like horrific 0th percentile ath growth. What I was kind of hoping for when I got this guy was like 90 D, 90 ath, 60 rebounding, 70 shot blocking, right? And 100 stamina, which I'm going to get 92 of, which is still great, but then instead what I'm going to get is 80 ath, 85 defense, and then maybe actually solid rebounding and 65 shot blocking. It's just not worth it. He's gone. I'm going to cut him. So then I have senior assigned and 2 walk-ons. So it's going to be a 4-person class. If Steven's defense turns like tomorrow, and recruiting is going really, really well, which I wouldn't complain about too much, maybe it'll be a 5-person class. But I mean, cutting this guy doesn't seem like a super great idea with this degrowth. He's gonna be about 86 ath, 91 plus D, and the rebounding changed, I think, at about 55 or 56. It was pretty early, so 75 rebounding. The speed will grow. Maybe I'll put him at the 4. I'll get the passing up and the ball handling up to 23. That'd be pretty ballsy to put someone with 56 shot blocking at the 4. But anyways, I like this guy enough to keep him probably. And I gave him the red shirt anyways. So having defending bigs is pretty important for me. So I'm going to focus on just looking to fill 4 spots. Maybe I'll even take a walk on and just grab 3 of these guys because I'm not overwhelmed in happiness by the scouting. All right, thank you, and see you next time.